Just having Bert back tonight. I mean, it's got to be a big plus for him. How much do you miss a guy like that when he's been around?
Our record says we miss him a lot. He's a really good player for us. We're not exceptionally deep in those types of offensive players to begin with, and so when you don't have them, you certainly miss him. He just does tons of stuff. He's on our penalty kill. He's on our power play. He's a 6-on-5. He's a 5-on-6. He's strong. Wins puck battles. So to have him back in the lineup's great. He's a big piece of. He's a lot of our engine as well. So he's a big piece of what we do. It also allows us, when we want to really create two lines that you got to think about if you're the opposing coach with, Larkin's line on one and Bird on the other. It makes it a dangerous line.
How much of a hindrance says or hassle, whatever you want to say, has it been not having them in a line? It's like you guys have mentioned. I mean, it's like guys injured or something. I suppose you're going to miss some games. I mean, has it been an issue, or you just try to go on to the next game?
You miss them in the lineup, but there's not anything many of us can do. So we don't think about it a whole bunch. We don't worry about it a whole bunch. We look at the guys that are available to us. We make lineup decisions and we move forward.
About Seattle, what's stood out about Seattle when you watched?
Well, the one thing that they've been all year for me is their defensive numbers are very good. Their underlying defensive numbers are very good, better than their actual. And so they've been a hard team to play against from a defensive standpoint all season long. Obviously, they create chances off their rush. They create chances in ozone. Some nights I'm sure they've had their issues scoring. But they've been a real good defensive team all year. So we're going to have to, it's just like every other team in the league. We're going to have to play great hockey to put ourselves in position to win the hockey game.
Yep. Is there anybody besides Nick Leddy will be held out tonight?
As I sit here and talk to you today, we anticipate everybody else being available in the lineup.
And you've talked about, from the player aspect, the human aspect of the trade deadline, but from the coaching perspective of maybe having to, obviously Thursday, a guy who normally would have been in the lineup is not in the lineup. And last year, Mantha being gone at the last minute. Like, what are these days like for?
Well, it's different. I think as a coach, you'd like to have everything set, cut and dry and planned for. And this is a little bit more like, these times can be a little bit like the American League where, at the last minute, you may get a call and all of a sudden that person's on the lineup. That happened with Mantha. It was kind of right at the end of the deadline period and the trade was made and you adjust. But I think everybody knows that you're going to have to kind of, potentially have to adjust, including the coaching staff. And I just think that it's a matter of keeping your group focused on the task in hand. And sometimes that's easier than others. I thought we did a really good job in Vancouver, given the fact that, the players learned in the morning that we were sitting Leddy out. That's not an easy thing as a player. I thought we came out and played extremely hard. Now, a big piece of that was Ned made big saves, especially early. But as a coach, just like a player, we got to focus on what we can control.
And do you say anything in the locker room, or do you just trust that, even for the younger guys, they have been around it now for a few years, that they understand? Alex said it the other day, this is a business. Or do you kind of?
Well, different times we'll do different things, but in this particular case, I talked to our leadership group, just made sure that we were focused and our guys felt confident with that, and I feel confident going into today. You don't want to over discuss it either. You kind of ride that balance of making sure that we're confronting any of the issues that we may face, but not over dramatizing them. So in the end, we'll have 20 guys dressed that are good enough to win the hockey game, and that's generally my message to our players is we got to focus on those guys.
Lastly, just your impressions of Seattle adding this stop now to the NHL.
It's a great stop, great city. It's got a hockey history. When I actually grew up, the youth hockey here was really good. Hopefully that can continue to build and get back to even greater heights. And I think that'll be great for hockey in the United States. It's another nice city to go to. Obviously a close stop in Vancouver, so it makes a lot of geographical sense. So I'm excited. I'm excited to play in the rink. Excited to be a part of it.
And just to be clear, the only one being held up as of right now is Letty.
as we sit here at whatever time it is.
Yep, next go to Trevor Thompson.
Hey, Blash, just wondering, Barclays Arena, brand new arena, didn't really work out too well sight lines, although it was a nice place. What do you think of the refurbished Key Arena, new climate pledge and the sight lines inside, and your thoughts on that new structure?
I don't have a big comment on the sightlines because I haven't been up in the stands, but it looks like a great building. Barclays was one of those buildings that was built really honestly for basketball. I've coached in one in Indianapolis. It was the same type of thing. They ultimately build it for basketball, not for both. And this is clearly not that. So this is clearly a great looking arena that seems to have the area underneath here is outstanding. The area for the visitors outstanding. So I think it's all positives.
If you talk about Letty sitting out on this side, it doesn't look like Giordano is going to play. What do they miss with a guy who obviously brings leadership as their captain, and maybe ways that you can be more effective in your game plan without a guy like that to face in their lineup?
I actually recruited Mark to Ferris State. He actually had committed to us, and I left that year to go to Miami, and he ended up going major junior, and so he never made it there. But I've known Mark a long time. Great leader, great human being. He's had an outstanding NHL career so far, and still has real good hockey in him. He's got great poise, smart. Reminds me in a lot of ways of a guy that I coached in Andy Green. Just understated a little bit, but has that really good, efficient ability where he makes offense happen without lots of risk. So certainly he's a big piece of their team. I know he's their leader. So they'll certainly be missing that.
And my last thing for you is just your thoughts on Giovanni Smith playing up in the lineup. It looks like he's looked to make a few more plays, playing with different guys, and just wondering what your thoughts on the effectiveness of him the last couple of games that you've moved him up.
I think Gio's done a good job at times. It's just a continued learning process, at both ends of the rink. So, I thought a number of our players played good last game, and we're going to need a number of them to play good again tonight.
Thanks, Blash. Good luck.
Yeah.
All right, those are all the questions we had for Coach Blashill.